All right. Good morning, everybody. It's exciting to be back here. I want to thank Commissioner Petiti for his leadership. He's really done an amazing job in a short amount of time. From us head coaches, we just want to say thank you to him for his leadership. Media Day always kicks off the season, so it's exciting to be back here. I never take that for granted as a head football coach and how fluid our profession is. I want to thank my wife, Heather, and our kids, Gavin, Carter, Paisley, and Harper, for their unwavering support. As always, we spend a lot of time away from our families and raise other people's kids as well, so just want to say thanks to them. I want to thank President Ettinger, who we had as our interim president for 2 years, who did a tremendous job leading our institution and everything that goes along with that. I want to thank our Board of Regents, and I want to welcome our new president who's coming to us by the way of University of Michigan, Dr. Rebecca Cunningham, as she enters her first season first year as our university president. And I obviously want to thank our fans. I think we have the best fans in college football. They do a great job supporting us and our student athletes, especially as you're getting into this NIL world, so I want to thank them. There's one person I really want to thank, and that's our athletic director, Mark Coyle. I work for the best boss in the business. We have a very special relationship. I think that's well documented. In fact, our 8 years now, going on 8 years, is the longest tenured head coach AD relationship in the Big Ten, which I think, again, shows the fluidity of our profession as the head coach and as the athletic director. But this is what I meant when I said in my open introductory press conferences, we're going to bring cultural sustainability back to Minnesota. You look at all the successful coaches that have been in Minnesota a long period of time, and they all had sustainability over a long period of time with the same culture. And we're doing everything we can to keep that cultural sustainability in place. And so with Coyle and I 7 years being together, it's pretty amazing. It's 50 wins. We've had 16 NFL draft picks. We've had 9 academic All-Americans. We have a 3.21 cumulative GPA. We've had 6 All-Americans. And we're 5-0 in bowl games in our 7 years. We're one of only 13 teams that have had somebody drafted in the first and second round in the last 5 NFL drafts. Antoine Winfield Jr., Rashad Bateman, Boye Mafe, John Michael Schmitz, and Tyler Nubin. And again, I say that because that's a credit to Mark Coyle's leadership and direction of our athletic department and our football program, because we both truly love Minnesota. And I think in 2024, it's okay to love where you're at. Like, it is okay to love Minnesota. It's okay to love the position that you're in, and I think we share that. We're actually building a house. It's finally finishing after 2.5 years, and we're moving in 2 weeks, which is great timing for a football coach to be moving his house. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You got to ask Heather, because I probably won't be around to pull my weight on that one. But we both believe in the student-athlete experience, and I love that about working for Mark Coyle. So as we transition into this new world of college football, I just wanted to say something about our program that, we are a transformational program. Academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, the whole life program. But our world has changed in this transactional world with the NIL, with the portal, with salary caps, with obviously conference expansions, new TV deals. But really, the university experience is still there. And I think a lot of people think the transactional piece, now we all have to change into just the transactional piece. We don't believe in that. We believe in having the transactional piece as a piece that allows our student athletes to benefit, but you still get this transformational life program. And I think that's really important to talk about, because we're still educators, we're teachers, and we're mentors. And that'll never go away as we continue to move forward. Fit is more important now than it's ever been. We talk about recruiting. I mean, we just had the highest ranked recruiting class we've had at Minnesota. And it wasn't because maybe we were the highest bidder. It's because we had the right fit for our program. I think Michigan proved this last year, team. You build the best team, you got a chance to win. Because it's one thing to have the transaction, but then you've got to transform them into the best team they possibly can be. And I feel like we do a pretty good job of that in the selection world. I'm not for everybody. I think I've said that numerous times. I don't want to be for everybody, and I don't think anybody's for everybody. But if you can find the right people that fit you, I think in the new world of college athletics and football, you can have a lot of success. So I'm really, really excited about where our team's at. I think they've worked really, really hard. I'm excited about the future of college football and our football team in 2024. So 2024 football team, the reason I love them so much is they love ball. Like, this team loves football. And with all the transactional pieces, do you still love football? This team truly does. We focused on one word in the offseason for us, and that was competition. And I know that's pretty generic and cliche, but we broke it down into 3 aspects. Because I think to be the ultimate competitor, you have to understand how to compete. 1, you have to compete within yourself. The within piece is critical. This is winter conditioning. This is summer conditioning. This is you versus you. And you've got to understand that's how you grow the most. 2, you've got to compete with each other. You're on the same team. Spring ball, training camp, we're on the same team. We're not beating each other. And that makes you even more competitive. And those 2 things, with and within, get you ready to compete against the teams that you're going to face here in the season. And I think our team is getting ready to play against teams as we continue to compete with and within ourselves and our football team. We hired 2 new coordinators in the offseason. I'd go through all of our new coaching hires, but everybody's a coach now. So we would take forever, and that would take all my time talking about all the people we've hired. So the 2 new coordinators we have, Corey Heatherman came to us by the way of Rutgers. I think it's documented with Coach Giano and I, and the respect I have for him and what he's done. Joe Harris-Symbiak, who used to be on our staff, is over at Rutgers now. So we kept that hire within the family. Corey was an instant fit, though. You talk about a football coach. I mean, this guy eats, breathes, and sleeps football. Really intelligent. Our players really fell in love with him the minute he got in there, and he was all ball. And he's done a great job so far. And then our second hire in the coordinating aspect was Bob Ligashevsky as our special teams coordinator. Bob and I go back to Tampa Bay. We were both coached in the NFL. He was our special teams coordinator. I was the wide receiver coach for the Buccaneers. He just brings a wealth of knowledge, college, NFL experience, and really, really excited to have him. I mean, the guy's above 60, I'll just say that. Still runs 10 miles a day. I mean, his energy is endless. So when we transition a little bit into our players, we've added 13 transfers. We had 25 high school players join us. We had the highest ranked recruiting class since we've been there. And then I think the biggest glaring statistic for us was we have 16 of 17 eligible returning starters back this year. And I think that's a credit to our culture, our sustainability, and guys wanting to be at the University of Minnesota. Guys like Daniel Jackson, who's second-team All-Big Ten wide receiver, Ariante Ursary, who's our starting left tackle, who's getting a lot more notoriety. One of the notorieties, he's a top 25 player in the EA Sports college football game. Bet you didn't know that. Not only that, if you take him and you move him to tight end, it's a hack. He's a 99. There's some information for you. Okay. Also, Quinn Carroll, one of our offensive linemen who's also Big Ten. And then on the defensive side of the ball, Ja Joyner led us with 7.5 sacks last year. He hopes to double that. He's really had a tremendous offseason. Justin Wally, all he does at corner is seem to make plays in rivalry games. And then Danny Strigauer, our rush end, who's also all Big Ten. But we brought 4 guys with us, and these guys are all elite young men. We talk to our players all the time about be a better person than you are a player, because you'll make yourself a better player if you're a better person, and these guys truly, truly represent that. We brought Max Brosmer, our quarterback, who's a transfer from New Hampshire, Darius Taylor, our running back from Detroit, Michigan, and then Cody Lindenberg, our linebacker from Anoka, Minnesota, and then our kicker, Dragan Kesic. And he's really our social media liaison. That's how we were able to bring 4. We have 3, and Dragan is our social media liaison. But the best interview you'll ever have is to do an interview with Dragan Kesic. And I tell you, it'll get some clicks, I promise. Starting to talk about Max real quick. Max was a 2023 Walter Payton finalist, a quarterback at New Hampshire. Did a tremendous job there. Our quarterback situation was different than a lot of others. We were going to take a portal quarterback to come in and start and play right away. Somebody had to come in and engulf the program, fit the culture, want to be there for all the right reasons, because I think a lot of people want that. But when you're in that role, it's really difficult when you actually get there and who really wants that. He's a meticulous why seeker, and he's a very curious individual. And anytime you have a curious leader, you can accomplish a lot. The slogan or the quote that he's a coach on the field gets thrown around a lot, but he truly is. He could be a doctor and a surgeon, which he probably will be, but he'll be a phenomenal coach if he decides that one day after he's done playing. Darius Taylor, who our running back, who I think arguably had one of the better seasons at running back, but he just didn't play a lot. And I think in the offseason, Darius spent a lot of time on getting to know his body, working with our sports science team, our nutritionists, our dietitians, our strength staff, our trainers, to make sure that he has a really healthy 2024 and do everything he possibly can. We've connected him with some other people in the transfer portal at the running back position, and Joe Newbin's had a great offseason. But you talk about a terrific person who took generational trauma and made that positive change. That's what Darius is all about. Cody Lindenberg, I think one of the best linebackers in the Big Ten. Again, we were hit with the injury bug last year and only played in a few games last year, but he's the heartbeat of our defense. He's everything to our defense. He's the voice. He's the reason. He gets everybody aligned. We're really excited to have a healthy Cody Lindenberg in 2024. And last but not least, Dragan Kesic, who's here. I told you he's our social media liaison. He's a reigning Big Ten Kicker of the Year. And that's a great accomplishment. We were talking last night at St. Elmo's about that. We're like, that's a great accomplishment. However, if you have the Big Ten Kicker of the Year, you're probably not very good on offense. Right? That's just part of it because you're kicking way too many field goals, and I think that was where we were last year. But he's got a huge leg. I hope you all get a chance to spend just a little bit with him because he is a very, very, very unique individual. So really excited about the 2024 season. We got a great group of kids here. Again, really excited about our transformational program, and with that, we'll open up for questions.
Coach, we got